6 p.m. in Douala. Viewers, thank you so much for joining us on this edition of the news. Our Majesties right away. Before God and before the people of Senegal, Bassirou Diomaye Diakhar Faye swears to faithfully fulfill the office of President of the Republic of Senegal, to observe as well as to abide by the provisions of the Constitution and laws, to devote all his power to defending the constitutional institutions, territorial integrity, national independence, and will spare no effort to achieve national unity. Those were the promises of the 5th President of Senegal, 44-year-old Bassirou Diomaye Faye, during the inauguration ceremony which took place in Dakar, Senegal today. It was massively attended by Senegalese and a host of African heads of states and other dignitaries. That is our lonely story for tonight. Stay with us for details and more. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you so much for your confidence. Today has been observed as a World Day for the sensitization against autism. Officials in Cameroon have revealed that there are about 750,000 autistic children in Central African states. 65% of them are denied access to education. This is because in most African countries, just like in Cameroon, autism is falsely believed to be a result of witchcraft. Autistic kids are often subjected to stigma because of many reasons. As the world observed the World Autistic Day or Autist Day today, medics emphasize that autistic kids need love, care, and education. Mala Glory tells us more.
In Cameroon, autism is attributed to witchcraft and autistic children stigmatized as snake children. Autism in children is an inability of children to establish normal relationship with people and to react normally to situations, accompanied by a disorder of affective contact. Medics explain that autistic children often face difficulties in communicating and playing with other children. It is a global and early developmental disorder which appears from the age of 3, and the signs can be noticed as early as at 6 months. The child should be able to move his eyes, be able to point at objects. At 1 year and a half, the child should be able to start talking, and at the age of 3, the child should be able to adapt to his or her environment. And if the child can't align objects, then the attention of a health expert is needed. Meeting a health specialist at the Lakentini Hospital, Nice Monte, he explains that many factors can justify the behavior pattern towards autistic children. It can either be hereditary. The consumption of certain drugs and stress during pregnancy can contribute to this, but then no specific cause can explain this phenomenon. Autistic children understand by identifying objects. They also need assistance from health experts, psychotherapists, speech therapists, dietitians, and also educators, as each of them have a role to play in order to bring out talent in the children. As the world commemorates the World Autistic Day on April 2nd, it is important to raise public awareness to dismiss the myth that autistic children are attacked by evil spirits.
And now we talk something else away from health. At a time when some Cameroonians strongly believe an Anglophone leader can bring the desired change in Cameroon, Corbett Gwine, a civil society actor, thought leader, demands political parties to invest Anglophones as candidates for the 2025 presidential election. This, according to him, will revive the trust of Anglophones who rubbish the electoral system in Cameroon. Corbett also stresses voting an Anglophone president will also reunite, foster peace, stability, and render Cameroon one and indivisible. Innocent as a has more.
Thought leader and civil society actor Corbett Gwine thinks it is time to have an Anglophone as president of the Republic of Cameroon.
It's stated in the Constitution that there were two heritages, the French and the English heritage, were never experimented on the English heritage, and because of the perception that Anglophones have continued to be a minority, it's very important that Francophones in the majority join in supporting an Anglophone candidate for president in 2025.
Political parties, including the CPDM, each needs to favor an Anglophone to stand as candidates for the 2025 presidential election.
Historically, has always been the SDF that has been presenting an Anglophone candidate for president. We show that there is justice, the poetic justice that is done to the Anglophone. Any political party, including even the CPDM, if they're going for elections, they must be seen to be presenting an Anglophone candidate.
Cameroonians, particularly Francophones, should massively vote an Anglophone.
It is a great opportunity now for the new generation voters, the first-time voters who have not lived the pain of the 90s, that can mobilize, that political actors and civil society have to mobilize to get in and vote, and more importantly for the Francophones now to compensate for the error that was committed in 1990 by allowing an Anglophone now to be president after the failures of President Madio Ahijo and President Paul Biya to give Anglophones an equal chance so that we can change the system as it of now. We cannot continue to think that, because for now the viable opportunity is still that we need to vote, and not only vote but be seen to be protecting our votes.
This to him will heal the economic hardship, especially the socio-political fever of Cameroon.
It's the surest and only and surest way for Cameroon to remain one and indivisible, given the frustrations, given the level of animosity and the fight to have greater autonomy. So let them have this position, and so that we can rebuild peace, we can rebuild unity, we can rebuild stability in Cameroon.
Projection of Anglophone candidates by political parties, Colbert believes, will rekindle hope within Anglophones who will massively register on the electoral list with expectation they will be protected to cast their vote come 2025.
And now, while Boko Haram is yet to be completely eradicated from the northern regions of Cameroon, Cameroon and other member countries of the Lake Chad Basin are being faced by an increasing new form of cross-border insecurity. 5 Cameroonian hostages freed in Chad by the Chadian army have been received in Cameroon by the governor of the Far North region. The individuals were kidnapped in Toboro in the North region and taken over to Chad.